welcome back to Sunny Side Up with your hosts, Michael and Faith. Faith, how you feeling?
Good. I feel very, very well rested this morning.
Oh, really? Because we stayed up pretty late last night.
We did. I don't know. I slept so good. So good. I do know that I had some really weird dreams, though.
Okay, well, to avoid anyone wanting to kill themselves from having to listen to someone else's dreams, week 5 of being sick, I think.
Oh, yeah. You've been sick for a hot second.
And still not feeling up to par.
You sound better, though.
But here's the thing. All right, so, quick thing. I, last week, held in a sneeze. Now, I have held in sneezes my entire life.
Which is an idiotic thing to do, I would like to add.
Okay, do you know anyone other than me who has ever gotten hurt from it?
No, because everyone I know doesn't hold in their sneezes because they know that that's an idiotic thing to do.
Anyways, I held in my sneeze, and then I heard a pop come out of my throat, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And then I realized I couldn't swallow. Even water, even my own spit, I couldn't swallow for like a whole day. And then it was still painful to swallow even today, since Thursday. No, since Monday. Monday is when I held in the sneeze. Yeah. But then last night, I had a sneeze in bed, right? I sneezed and I let that shit fly free as a bird. Throat hurts more now. So whether I hold in the sneeze or not, my throat is still fucked.
You know what's really funny? You did it on Monday, and then on Tuesday I was talking to my coworkers about it, and I was like, who holds in a sneeze? Like, that's such a dumb thing to do. And they all kind of laughed too, and they were like, yeah, I don't know why anybody would hold this sneeze. And then
everyone just assumes it's a real thing.
Well, and
no one has any evidence.
Michael, you literally hurt your throat from holding in a sneeze. What do you mean?
My throat has already been hurt for weeks.
Anyways, and then you went to the doctor, and she was like, oh, this might be a bigger thing, and gave you like different medication. And then the next day at work, I told them that, and Katie, like, she laughed, and she was like, do you feel a little bad now about like being like, oh my god?
Yeah.
And I was like, kind of, but not really.
Whatever. No pity for your husband.
Not when he holds in a sneeze.
So week 5 of being sick, rough. Still not recovering. Maybe slightly a little bit.
You sound a little bit better, and I feel like you have a little bit more energy.
Okay. Well, this week, I should, despite being sick, I was still, making moves. I tried to do something this week. I tried to spend my weekdays being productive and doing things on my, task list. Mm-hmm. Instead of, doing, just, one thing to feel good and, a house chore, dishes or something. I tried to, actively work on my to-do list and minimize other activities. So-so.
Yeah.
So-so results. Wanted to have, a freer weekend. And maybe that's not gonna, maybe that didn't work out so well, but I don't know. Between having a rough week and stuff, I didn't really give myself enough of a shot. But I'm trying to make these lifestyle changes right now to I don't know, just improve quality of life, right?
As one does when they get medicated.
And, well, last week I talked about trying to do health, less tech dependence, and trying to I wanted to, I wish I could have a dumb phone. So it kind of all goes in the same bucket. And that trying to be productive mostly worked, except for the fact that I have instead of dipping my toe, I kind of just dived into the deepest part of the lake of a new obsession recently. And it's consumed my life as new obsessions do. Playing Elder Scrolls Online, which I haven't played since it was released 12 years ago. Very much enjoying it. To go along with that, one of the healthy habits I tried to start this week, and I did actually successfully start it, was getting up at the time that I should be getting up on a weekday morning.
I will say I've been very impressed with you.
Thanks. Except
because here's the thing. We both have we live in a world where we can put vodka sauce on anything. Anyways, here's the thing. We set alarms. Mine is for 6, 6:15, 6:30, and 6:45. Though the first 3 are my warning alarms, so I can prepare to actually get up. And yours go off kind of around those similar.
Kind of.
You've got one at 6:25 that bugs the living hell out of me. But
I have
because Michael puts his alarms at odd
6:20,
numbers.
6:25, 6:35, 6:40, 6:50, 7 o'clock, 7:05, 7:06, and 7:15. You're late.
Yeah, what a psychopath.
And that's actually kind of low for typical.
Who sets an alarm for a 50-minute, like 50 instead of 45? Or like, you're like,
I have different intervals so that I can surprise my body in the morning. So they go, huh, huh. That's out of the.
Oh
out
yeah,
of the
it
pattern.
surprises your body. I think me kicking you is what surprises your body every morning. Anyways, not the point of this. They go off. I get up at 6:45 because I can't be bothered to get up earlier than that. That's enough time for me. Michael usually, like, I get up at 6:45, I go to the bathroom, put my contacts in, do all of that. And by the time I come back, you're still in bed. Like, you don't get up. I have to be like, Michael, can I turn on the light? That's been our routine. And so this week, you getting
I
up.
wake up 10 minutes before I need to be on the road, to be clear.
Yeah.
That's kind of a key part of what you're trying to say here.
Yes. He has to leave at like 7:10 or like 7:15.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Michael gets out of bed at 7.
But I've started this week, started getting up at 6. Except, what do I do with that time? Why do like chores or like, just like enjoy the nature morning?
Wait.
No.
Because now you've started to get up at 6 or 6:30. It's been like
6.
Okay.
6 or is like 6:10ish.
Yeah. You've done that this week, and every time he's gotten up, I've been like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm getting up at the time I'm supposed to be up. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm going back to sleep. And then I get up to go to the bathroom. The first night, like the first time you did it, I got up to go to the bathroom, and I like stopped, and I was like, this motherfucker's playing video games right now.
So yeah, I spend my mornings playing Elder Scrolls Online. I ride my little horsey over to the stable master, get my little upgrade there. Then I ride my horsey over to the little crafting station.
So funny.
I craft up some stuff,
So instead of getting up early to get ready for the morning, he plays video games and then stops at 7 o'clock, and then also still has to leave in 10 minutes and get ready in that 10 minutes.
Let me tell you what, though. The days I was able to do that, I hated driving to my work just a little bit less. So it kind of made me a little bit happier to go to work. So whatever works.
I just think it's so funny that you're like, yeah, I'm going to get up earlier because that's my time I usually get up for work, and then you don't spend that time getting ready for work.
I'm making healthy choices for me, okay? So I was bringing this all up to try and get to where I wanted to go. I need to discover some analog hobbies, because my hobbies are all purely digital at some level. They always involve something digital, like even like making videos and stuff. Great, except I still end up having to sit at a computer for twice the length of the actual filming, sometimes 3 times as long as the actual filming, to actually do all the editing and stuff. So at that point, you can't even call it. It's just mostly a digital hobby, making content, right? So I need to try and find some kind of analog hobby that I can get really sucked into, so that I can, work on that like tech dependence of my life. Because I sit in front of a screen from 7:30 in the morning until we go to bed usually.
Yeah, can I suggest something?
It's not going to be books.
You disappoint me.
Join the club.
Why don't you want it to be books?
Because like I'll read, yeah, and I like some books, but I don't know. I just don't feel like reading is going to be that hobby that like grips its claws into me right now.
I didn't think that either, and now I read whole books in an entire day. So it got its claws pretty deep in me.
Well, you also bake sourdough, so
Okay. Okay, what's that supposed to mean?
I think reading and baking sourdough go hand in hand.
Okay. I disagree.
Okay. I think the evidence is all around us, but sure. So I have no idea what that hobby is going to be. But I would like it to be something healthy because I got to get away from tech. As we sit here and have this discussion over a microphone to then edit it on a computer and then send it out onto the internet.
I was going to say, like, you should just try cooking more because I know that you really enjoy, like, experimenting and cooking. However, food is expensive.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one of the things that have held us up on the food channel. Is just like food is getting more and more expensive, and it's getting a little bit harder to do those videos because every single video requires ingredient. Because the stuff I want to make is not just like
your run-of-the-mill normal stuff. Like, it's got, like, some specialty ingredients and stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately,
and it's just,
a lot
like,
of that stuff is like
ungodly expensive.
Cultural or like multicultural or
some things
like,
you would get at like Whole Foods and like
what's the word I'm looking for? Imported stuff.
Yeah.
Know?
And I heard a joke on TikTok the other day where somebody called Whole Foods whole paycheck, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm on the search now for some analog hobbies so I can get away from the screen a little bit. I kind of thought about sketching, but then I remembered how absolutely dog shit I am at sketching.
But that's why you do it, so you get better.
Sketching is one of those hobbies that you have to do every single day for like 3 years before your sketches look okay. I'm not going to have like the mental capacity to hold a hobby for 3 years just to start seeing results. So I think that's a very terrible idea for me.
Okay.
It's I'll give up on that so quick. Despite like I would really like to do that so I could actually draw like what I imagine some things from like the fantasy world I created. I'd like to see that, but
and I have so many hobbies that don't include screens or like technology, but you would not enjoy any of them. What?
Reading,
I have my coloring books, my the coloring books, my like beads for jewelry making, and like
yeah, okay, when was the last time you touched that?
Not that long ago. I made the little keychain for my keys.
Okay.
That was like a week or two ago.
No, God, no. That was before I got sick.
But I do use it, and Grandma's giving me beads this weekend so I can make bookmarks. So I do use my beads.
Wow, look at those grandma hobbies.
Leave me alone. And this summer, Rachel's going to teach me how to crochet. So I do have quite a few hobbies that don't include screens.
I think we've exhausted this topic. So I want to get to the one I'm personally most excited to talk about in a while. And that's going to be, also I'm upset that I totally blanked on bringing this up last week. But Artemis 2 launched this week successfully. Thursday. Yeah. And the thing that the Artemis 2, it's planned, if you're not familiar with it, it's a manned plan to go to the moon, do a little bit of testing to see all the systems going to work, how's life support handling this, is this like going to be feasible, do we need to go back to the drawing board, all this, the leading up to future plans for a base on the moon. So I got a couple things to talk about that part. First of all, it's bad. Do you know how they plan on getting home?
No.
No. Okay. So I fucking love it. You know that TikTok song? Oh, fucking love it. That it plays in my head every time I think about this. They plan on using a slingshot maneuver to get home. Do you know what a slingshot maneuver is?
I can feel like I can imagine.
I want to know, what do you think it is?
You slingshot yourself home. Like,
okay, but how do you think you do it?
I don't know how you would do it in space. But go back a little bit and then just get launched.
I mean, kind of close, but not exact. Okay, so slingshot maneuver used in literally every single sci-fi show. If you do sci-fi, you probably have an episode where you mention a slingshot maneuver. I fucking love slingshot maneuvers. They're so cool. So the concept is you come around and you're like, all right, we need to pick up some serious speed, and we need to get around, or we need to turn around or adjust trajectory by a large margin, right? So we're going to go straight for, in sci-fi, we're going to go straight for the sun, or we're going to go straight for this massive planet. And what you do is you kind of come in and you kind of enter the atmosphere just enough for gravity to start taking hold of you, and then you wrap yourselves around that planet, and then you adjust trajectory and you slingshot yourself back out of the atmosphere with that new speed, and you go whoo. Yeah, slingshot maneuver. So cool. So cool. I love it. So they're going to use a slingshot maneuver to come around the Earth and slingshot themselves back to Earth.
I think you mean moon, right?
What did I say?
You said Earth.
Yep, I mean the moon.
Okay. It is very, very cool. I did see a video on TikTok the other day of this person in a plane, like they're just in a plane, and the pilot told them to look out their window, and they saw, what was it called?
No idea what you're talking about.
The rocket that went off.
Artemis 2.
Yeah, they saw Artemis 2 launch. Like, they got to see
They let a plane close enough to see that?
It was a ways away. The only reason you could see it was, like, the smoke.
Oh, okay.
Like, trail,
okay.
but, like, they
that
knew
fake.
that's, like, what it was. So they got to watch it out of their plane window, and I thought that was so cool. Like, what a, like, once in a lifetime, like, chance.
Not quite once in a lifetime.
What do you mean?
Rockets go up all the time.
What are the odds you see it from a plane window, though? And not only, like,
I feel like you could plan that pretty well.
But, like, not only that, but, like, one as, like, a mission like this, you know? Like, they're seeing this one.
Because this is the first time we're going to the moon since the 70s.
Exactly.
So,
like,
a little different.
That would be so cool. Like, you're watching a rocket take off to go to the moon. Like, that is so cool. Mm-hmm. I'll have to find the video and show you, because it was pretty cool.
Anyways, I'm very excited, not just for the slingshot maneuver, but the fact that we are testing for lunar landings again, that we are testing for a future moon base, even though that does mean, well, you know, the eventuality of Moon Wars 1 and 2, woohoo. Still very exciting stuff, because I it's like such a mark of true advancement, I think, as a species, to actually be able to get off of our planet and establish a semi-permanent base, even if it is the closest natural satellite. It's still very exciting. And it's just one more step forward in this. And I think it's really great that I think it's really awesome that despite all the awful shit that is happening right now, there's still people that are, like, wholly committed to this advancement of human civilization, and these scientists and researchers. And I mean it takes everyone, right? Even the janitors deserve praise, or custodians deserve the praise of supporting this mission, because it all goes into it, right? And so I'm very excited.
It is
that
very
we're seeing
cool.
This advancement.
It is very cool. That's how. So, like, slightly off topic, but, like, in a similar area. Last week I got really into this nature documentary, and the STEM part. If you haven't checked out the STEM part of TikTok, I highly recommend. I know a lot of random facts about beavers because of STEM TikTok, and it's, like, my favorite thing ever. I have just, like, a bunch of beaver facts in my back pocket. My favorite one is that they have 3 eyelids, and one of them is translucent, so they can see underwater. Like, what? Anyways, I was on the STEM part of TikTok, and it was saying that there are this group of beluga whales. I can't remember where it said they were at, but there's this group of beluga whales, and they have basically adopted this narwhal that just went a little too far south and lost its herd. And so this group of beluga whales, like, kind of adopted this narwhal, and scientists saw this, and they were like, oh, this is interesting. Like, it was like or narwhal's adolescence, I don't know. Like, it wasn't to the point where it can mate yet. And so now that it's with this pack of beluga whales, scientists are watching him because they were like, well, is this narwhal gonna mate when these beluga whales do? Like, they're gonna enter their mating season and then seek out like mates. Like, is this beluga or is this narwhal gonna do the same? And if it did, there'd be a cross between a narwhal and a beluga whale. Forgot what it was called, but they found one in 2019, and so they're interested to see if it'll happen again. And I think that would be so cool. Like, isn't that so cool? I don't know.
I think I have seen too many nature documentaries because I've seen a lot of this stuff before.
It's just,
right?
yeah.
But I'm also like, I feel like I've watched every nature documentary I could find.
Yeah. Disney Plus does have some good ones. The one I watched was with David Attenborough. Is that how you say his last name?
Oh God, please don't ask me. Don't put me on the spot.
Okay. Something along those lines. If I butchered it, my apologies.
I worship that man, but I cannot pronounce his last name.
And let me tell you, this documentary was one of the best things I have watched in a while. I was so locked into this.
At one point, I looked over and you were crying. The oceans are dying.
Michael, you don't understand.
No, like, I do.
The documentary was so incredibly well done. Because I looked it up on Reddit later, too, to see what people were saying. And it was kind of the consensus of, like, this documentary was so amazing. And it was, like, it really pulled at your emotions, which obviously was one of the points to this. Because it starts off with him talking about the ocean, like, kind of how a documentary would start out. But then he goes into how humans are just absolutely destroying the ocean. Like, it's, like, crazy how humans are destroying the ocean. And it was incredibly heartbreaking. Michael, like...
Yeah,
It was so insane. And, like, as I think before, I didn't quite understand the Great Barrier Reef. Like, I knew what it was, but I didn't quite understand it. And this documentary, I was like, oh, shit. Like, this is a huge deal that this is dying.
I think it's... Maybe this is a difference in just, like, where the school systems we grew up. But the school system I grew up in, it was all doom and gloom. Like, every science class told you the world is ending because of this. We're all going to die soon.
See,
so, like, the entire time growing up, I was constantly, being berated with, we're all dying.
See, I think the grade that we would have learned that, because I remember 7th grade, like... Well, it would have been 6th grade, too, because we learned about, like, the ocean and, like, things in 6th grade, too, but I don't really remember any of that part about it. And then in 7th grade, when we did more of, like, the atmosphere and, like, CO2 and all that, we had the worst science teacher their class, like, could have been, and you had to actively try to fail his class because he just slept during his class periods. He was not a great teacher. And so we actually never learned anything in 7th grade science. I couldn't tell you one thing I actually learned in 7th grade science. So it could be that.
Well, I can tell you exactly when I started being anxious about life. And that was about 7th grade in the middle of science class. Because that's the first time that I started having science classes tell me, you're going to die. The earth will die before you do. And
Isn't that a depressing...
I've been told that constantly. So, like, none of this surprises me or even makes me sad anymore because I've been being told we're going to die.
Depressing, which is a sad thought. But at the same time, this documentary also said that...
Well, it's not... I don't think it's the healthiest mindset. It doesn't produce the greatest results if everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
If everyone feels anxious, like, or crying like you do. I don't think that's the healthiest way to go about making action.
Think, like, evoking those emotions will make people take action too. Like, oh, that made me feel... so horrible that, like, let's do something.
Because what are you gonna do?
I said
no offense, but like, I'm asking you, what are you gonna do?
Some people, not like, that's not gonna do it to everybody.
So not you.
There might be subtle changes. Like, I might stop using plastic straws because we have all of our glass straws. Like, I don't know. Like,
did I ever tell you the time?
Can I finish my thought first? Okay. So the other part of this documentary that I thought was really interesting was that...
but this is about straws though, because you mentioned straws. So I do want to know.
Okay.
So. Did I ever tell you about the time when I started taking reusable straws to bars?
Honestly, though, hell yeah, Michael. I think that would be like, oh, he's using a reusable straw. Let me just slide over here real
Oh,
quick.
shut up. You're married to me. You would say that. But yeah, like I was just like, hey, how many goddamn, like I used to drink a lot at bars. And so I went through a lot of straws in a single night. So I was like, nah, I'm going to just start bringing my own straw, right? And then so I would stick it in my jacket and I'd just pull that shit out, plop it in my drink. And then I got made fun of and laughed at too many times.
Okay,
And
that's
I was like,
the other thing too. I hate that people make fun of people for not wanting to use plastic things. Like, it's not, like, care about the environment. Why is that such a thing to be made fun of? Like, I don't know. So, and it's hard to, like, I feel like, especially in, like, a landlocked state, it's hard to feel like anything like that is actually making a difference. Because, like, we're not close to the ocean, so, like, whatever, but it does. Anyways, documentary was really amazing, and I also learned, again, I have a lot of weird random knowledge facts now because of STEM, TikTok, and this. So you know how, like, the Amazon and, like, all of, like, the trees get rid of the CO2 and, like, put it back in the air, I forgot the word. The thing we can breathe.
Oxygen?
Yes. They take the CO2 and put oxygen. That's, like, why trees are so important. Well, I didn't know that there's basically forests that live in the ocean too. They're called, like, sea forests or something. And they do the same thing. They take in the CO2 and produce oxygen. And I don't know if they produce oxygen, but they definitely take in the CO2. And David Attenborough, sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, was saying that, like, that's one of the things that has saved our planet thus far. Is because this is also doing this. If it wasn't working this way, there'd be too much CO2. And I just thought that was so cool because did anybody tell you that there are underwater forests that do that? Whatever.
Yeah, see, all the stuff you were crying about and everything, I'm like, yeah, I've known that shit for years. This is old information, baby. But again, I've always been, like, plugged in and cared about it. So I did want to let you know, because I did remember when this oceans thing came out. It is pretty much considered the last major documentary project that David A. is actually ever going to do. Because it came out for his 99th birthday, and it's like, yeah, this is it.
Well,
he's going to die soon.
Yeah, he's like, what'd you say, 94?
99.
90, yeah, he's 99. And he, like, this documentary was the only person, if you haven't watched it, I told my family to watch it because it was so good. The only person talking is him. Like, cause like another documentary.
That's all of those documentaries, though.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Like, it felt a little bit different than what he normally does because what they normally do is it's just his voice over. You don't really ever see his face. It's just his voice. But in this one, it was like almost there was clips of him talking, kind of like more of like an interview.
When you say clips
style.
of him talking, you need to specifically say
With
clips of
his
him.
face,
Clips
yeah.
of him with his
and
face.
so it had those in there too, and I feel like that was also really, like, that made it even more impactful too. So it was just all around very, very, very well done, and I was really, like, it was very cool.
I'm glad you liked it.
Anyways, now my also main point to this was that be prepared to watch more documentaries with me because I've gotten back into that rabbit hole.
Well, the only reason I stopped watching nature documentaries is because, and you claim you don't remember this.
I don't.
But you told me they were boring and just put you to sleep.
I never said that. I will die on that hill because I wouldn't have ever said that. I love documentaries.
All right. I'm hallucinating. I guess I'm just AI.
You know, I think I remember.
You're dating an AI.
Okay, well, you can die on that hill, and I'll die on the hill that you said you don't like eye contact. So.
Oh my god. So we lost the plot on this conversation, and I didn't get to finish the last thing I wanted to talk about with Artemis 2. So we're going back to Artemis 2. Damn
Hey,
it.
I warned you this morning that I hadn't taken my meds this morning.
So, hilariously, it's now confirmed that even in space, you can't get away from work emails. Oh my. There was a clip of them going, yeah, I've got some Outlook issues. Can someone remote in and fix that for me? Why do they have to access Outlook in space? God damn it. That means even if I give up my whole life and become an astronaut and I go to space, I still have to answer my goddamn Outlook emails? That has got to be, honestly, that right there, that information is probably one of the most depressing things I have ever heard of in my life.
What was the thing that you said the other day about it too? You said something like Outlook doesn't even work in space.
Oh yeah, no. Outlook doesn't work. Period. So it wasn't surprising. I had mentioned that what I said.
Okay.
You can't even get away from work emails. That's insane, right?
It is insane.
That's some bullshit.
It's like that meme where it's like, I hope this email found you well, and it's them in a spaceship in space.
All right, so let's go ahead and get out our recommendations so we can get on with our day.
I think my recommendation is pretty clear at this point.
Okay, Oceans by David Attenborough
yes.
is Faith's recommendation. And I don't think we need to dig in that.
No.
Thank you. I'm going back to the 90s with the 1993 Son-in-Law. Faith, have you seen this?
I don't know.
Really? Okay, so, do you know, if I tell you Pauly Shore, no idea?
No idea. See, the thing is, too, is I'm not good with celebrity names. If you show me a picture of their face, I probably know who it is. I just don't know names.
He always plays like a stoner.
Okay. He looks familiar.
Yeah? You think maybe? Yeah. So anyways, Son-in-Law is a great little, they're like college age. I'll read the description here. I usually just try to go off the cuff, and I think I sound like an idiot every time, or like maybe I've never even heard of this movie and I'm faking it. And that's not it. Storytelling is a developing hobby, developing skill. So, here's your overview of Son-in-Law from 1993 with Pauly Shore. Country girl Rebecca has spent most of her life on a farm in South Dakota, and when she goes away to college in Los Angeles, Rebecca immediately feels out of place in the daunting urban setting. She's befriended by a savvy party animal named Crawl, played by Pauly Shore, who convinces the ambivalent Rebecca to stay in the city. When Thanksgiving break rolls around, Rebecca, no longer an innocent farm girl, invites Crawl back to South Dakota, where he pretends to be her fiancé.
Interesting. Okay.
So funny. Shout out my mother for showing me that movie, actually. And that about does it. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.